Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I am your host, Pearl, and thank you for tuning in. As you guys know, a couple announcements before we start the show. The first, please go to theaudacitynetwork.com to support my work and get a either monthly or yearly membership. You will have access to all my old content that I had to delete off of YouTube. Sad day. And you will also get first access to our documentaries. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, I read the chat that's on the Audacity Network. So generally, if you guys have something you want to say, a comment on the story, I will read it firsthand on the network page. So before we get into today's topic, I have a special guest on the show. Eva! My little sister Eva has joined the show. Say hello, introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, guys? I'm reformed now. I'm back.
So Eva came on my show, 3 years ago now? 2?
Yeah, I think 2.
It's like 2 or 3 years ago. And you came on before it blew up.
Oh yeah, that was like...
Yeah, I know, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was really baby Pearl.
Yeah. And back then you were a blue-haired feminist.
I don't want to talk about it.
What happened? The hair is gone. You know, you've lost a ton of weight. What's been going on in your life, Eva? Tell the people.
You know, I just realized they're crazy.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Do you remember going on Sneeko's stream?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's okay. We don't have to. Okay. So anyways, before we get started, as most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing, don't laugh, the societal issues we discuss on this show. Did you know the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what it was 50 years ago. Estrogen levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Choq, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Choq's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the main ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost testosterone levels 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity. You're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Choq MaleVitalityStack.com stack right now on Choq.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name, Pearl, as a coupon code for 25% off site-wide on Choq.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name, Pearl, is the discount code. Okay, so welcome to the show, Eva. So the first thing we're going to start out is a couple of months ago, I had a tweet that Twitter was very divided about. And I will say, can you tell the people I asked you if I could tweet it first?
You did. You did. You did.
They were very concerned. And I was like, no, I asked her because I thought it was funny. So I tweeted, we could show her, my sister is fat. So I texted her motivation. Am I mean? And I had this. You want to show up? It says where you should be. And you said literally shoot yourself. Now, did you want me to actually shoot myself?
Every day is just the day you were.
Okay, that's rude. That's rude. Now, they were very concerned. She said, surprisingly wholesome, but will definitely be in a meme format. And then they said, is there any reason you'd treat your family that instead of approaching the topic in a less insulting way? And I said, because we're not soft. And then on top of that, I got OnlyFans women tweeting me their nakedness. See this?
You know.
So I blocked her, obviously. And since then, you've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, I have.
How much weight have you lost since then?
Like 40 pounds.
I lost weight too. I lost like 15.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, I'm proud of you too.
See, this is why we call each other fat people.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You really got to do what you got to do.
Sometimes you just got to call them fat to, get them on the but then you get on the treadmill and life gets better.
Well, I have not stepped on the treadmill, but...
Well, or some people eat less. You want to show them your dog? Oh, can they see it?
They can't really see. You gotta lift them up.
Oh, look at him.
He just got cozy. I feel bad.
Eva got a dog this year, and it was really funny because my mom texted me asking if she got a dog. And, at the time I didn't know that she had a dog, but I just knew she got a dog. And I didn't want to like that dog, but I love him.
He's Dobby.
I love him. Is he Chihuahua mix?
Yeah.
I don't love Chihuahuas, but I love that dog.
Do you see his sweater?
He's so cute. Okay, so our first story. Eva, what do you know about Meghan Markle and Harry?
I really don't know much. I just don't think that he wanted to renounce his title, and she did, and I think she runs that marriage.
Yeah, so Meghan Markle and Harry married in 2018. She was 36 at the time, and this was her second husband. She was a big-name actress. And in just 2 short years, she went from being a part of the royal family to getting Harry to quit. Imagine that, royalty. So I have an interview of them when they first started being a couple. So this is like when they first got engaged. Oh man, I gotta plug this all the way in. 1 second, it's loading. Oh no, wait, go back. No. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're up.
Both.
Thank you.
Can we start with the proposal and the actual moment of your engagement? When did it happen? How did it happen?
It happened a few weeks ago, early this month, here at our cottage. Just a standard, typical night
It's
for
a
us.
cozy night. It was what we're doing, just roasting chicken and
Roasting
having
a chicken, trying to roast a chicken.
trying to roast a chicken, and it was just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
Of course.
Was it an instant yes from you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I could barely let you finish proposing. I said, "Can I say yes now?"
She didn't even let me finish. She said, "Can I say yes? Can I say yes now?" And then there was hugs, and I had the ring in my finger, and I was like, "Can I give you the ring?" And she goes, "Oh yes, the ring." So no, it was a really nice moment. It was just the two of us, and I think I managed to catch it by surprise as well. So.
Yeah.
And this is how long after you first met?
It would be a year and a half,
Yeah.
a little bit more than that.
No, just about a year and a
about
half. Yeah.
Which for most people would be quite a whirlwind. Is that how it's felt to you?
I don't think that I would call it a whirlwind in terms of our relationship.
What do you notice? I want to see if you pick up what I pick up on.
I mean, she's kind of leading. She's looking at him to like he can only respond when she looks at him.
I didn't pick up on that part.
Oh, go back. You can look at it. She looks at him to speak.
I was going to say that she talks first. Like they ask her instead of him.
Oh, I just noticed that whenever he's trying to talk, she'll look at him almost to give him approval.
Oh, that's a good pickup, E.
Obviously, there have been layers attached to how public it has become. After we had a good 5-6 months almost with just privacy, which was amazing. But no, I think we were able to really have so much time just to connect, and we never went longer than 2 weeks without seeing each other, even though we were obviously doing a long-distance relationship. So it's we made it work.
How did you first meet?
Yes, we first met. We were introduced actually by a mutual friend, who
We should protect our privacy and
Protect our
not
privacy,
reveal
yeah.
too much of that.
and but it was literally through her, and then we met once and then twice back to back, 2 dates in London. last July.
Yes.
Beginning of July. And then it was, I think, about 3, maybe 4 weeks later that I managed to persuade her to come and join me in Botswana. And we camped out with each other under the stars. And she came and joined me for 5 days out there, which was absolutely fantastic. So then we were really by ourselves, which was crucial to me to make sure that we had a chance to get to know each other.
Yeah.
But the friend who introduced you, was she trying to set you up?
Yes, it was definitely a setup. It was a blind date.
It was a blind date,
and,
for sure.
And it's so interesting because we talk about it now, and even then, because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family, and so while I now understand very clearly there's a global interest there, I didn't know much about him, and so the only
Bullshit. Why is it every woman that marries rich just didn't even know he had money? Bullshit.
Yeah, especially if he was single. Like, everybody knows the single royals, especially the main. Like, that's Princess Diana's son.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, and I'm okay. We're in America, but if your friend was going to set you up with somebody, you wouldn't Google him. I've heard so many women say that when they marry rich, and I don't believe it for a second. Not even a little bit.
thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense. And so we went.
Oh, yeah. Well, sort of, because remember, she was married earlier. So I would guess her ex-husband was more of the bad boy. Now she's a little older.
Mhm.
She wants something more stable. And
I'm sure she still would have married him even if he wasn't kind. But
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
it's BS that
Yeah.
that was the first thing she asked.
you know what's funny? The other brother and his wife, he met her in school and then he like dumped her and then dated all these other women and then came back. And like he cheated and like all this stuff. I allegedly, right? But
Mhm.
and it's so funny because she's still so in love. She did not care. She's like, I'll be here. I'm waiting.
And
But she's the better one anyway. Have you seen Kate Middleton?
Yeah.
She's such a class act.
Yeah.
She is just classy.
met for a drink, and then I think very quickly into that we said, well, what are we doing tomorrow? We should meet again.
What are we doing tomorrow? Let's meet again. And then it was like, right, diaries. We need to get the diaries out and find out how we're going to make this work, because I was off to Africa for a month. She was working, and we just said, right, where's the gap? And the gap happened to be in the perfect place.
So how much did you, Prince Harry, know about Meghan? Had you seen her on TV?
No, I'd never even heard about her until this friend said Meghan Markle. I was like, right, okay, give me a bit of background. what's going on here? So no, I'd never watched Suits. I'd never heard of Meghan before, and
Have you seen Suits?
No.
I haven't seen either.
She seems
was-
very like stiff. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, all of her movements just seem contrived. She
Yeah,
doesn't-
like she's very controlled, where Harry's just kind of sitting there.
yeah, he's just chilling.
Yeah,
like,
he's just.
have you seen the meme? I'm a chill guy.
I have not, but I mean, he's just sitting there.
beautifully surprised when I walked into that room and saw her, and there she was sitting there. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna really have to up my game. I'm gonna sit down and and make sure I've got a good chat.
I think for both of us, though, it was really refreshing because, given that I didn't know a lot about him, everything that I've learned about him, I learned through him, as opposed to having grown up around different news stories or tabloids or whatever else. Anything I learned about him and his family was what he
Yeah, right.
would share with me, and vice versa. So for both of us, it was just a really authentic and organic way to get to know each other.
And was that quite refreshing for you in the way that you've been brought up, with a lot of people knowing a lot about you? Was it refreshing?
Or thinking they know.
Or thinking they know.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it was hugely refreshing to be able to get to know someone who isn't necessarily within your circle, doesn't know much about me, I don't know much about her. So to be able to start almost afresh, right from the beginning, and getting to know each other step by step, and then taking that huge leap of only 2 dates, and then going effectively on holiday together in the middle of nowhere, and sharing a tent together and all that kind of stuff. It was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing to get to know her as quickly as I did.
Okay, so that's where it started. We're not gonna. It's like a 20-minute interview.
Yeah,
You get the idea.
Get the idea of it.
She did it. She didn't know anything. He's a target. He's a target.
Mm-hmm. She's always the gingers. We always get targeted.
She takes him out to the woods. She's like, honey, let's go to the woods. Makes him fall in love, whatever. She should sell a book because it's very impressive.
Doesn't she have a book?
I'm sure she does.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Yeah. Anyway, so now they get married and they have some kids. And she decides she's going to go
I didn't
woke.
realize that there was a Black History Month.
And the thing is, when you go woke, you tend to go broke. And she decides that the entire royal family, after they embraced her,
I just didn't want
her. She has a bad relationship with her dad, so his dad walked her down the aisle.
Have you looked into the relationship with her dad?
I've seen a little bit, but I think he says that she's crazy.
Yeah, no, her dad basically I just watched the interview with her dad and her sibling and somebody else, or like her stepmom or something like that. And it was like her dad reminds me a lot of our dad.
Wait, let me see.
Like he loves her, and he did this interview basically calling her, being like, "Hey, you're crazy, but I still love you. I still miss you." And then her dad had a stroke right before their wedding, and she didn't even call.
Was it this one? Was it this one?
No, it was the one with all three of them.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. With who else?
Like her sister. I'm pretty sure her sister sued her.
Oh
yeah, that one.
On the top. Let me see.
Yeah.
I can't watch this whole thing. This is like an hour, but let me see if there's...
Long before she was a duchess, Meghan Markle was a queen.
Oh, she was prom queen?
A homecoming queen.
She says she won't.
Who people bowed to. And cheered.
If it wasn't for his hard work and his love for her, she wouldn't be where she's at right now.
See, Dad. The middle Markle is Tom Jr., who lives up the road from his father in Mexico.
Hey, Dad.
I want to find the part you're talking about.
Let's go to something with her dad.
And across the continent from his sister, Press.
The letter, I gave part of the letter to the Daily Mail.
The Mail on Sunday had printed the private letter Meg had written to her father.
So why would a dad do that? Well, the story is more complicated than we've been led to believe.
This is the letter that the Queen approved.
The letter that Granny and Pa urged her to write.
Someone suggested she write you a letter, and the Queen said that's a good idea.
Yes, the Queen never read this letter because it was a horrible letter, very insulting and cruel.
But Thomas, why did you give it to the Daily Mail, part of it?
Because at the same time, People magazine were coming out with it. The fact that Meghan had shared with 6 other people, right?
So you didn't think it was any big deal?
No, that's not the point. I thought I have to get my side into this too. I put out a little part of it. The other things in the letter are so hateful and so cruel that I wouldn't put it out. And that's more protecting her than myself.
There was nothing in that letter to be ashamed about. A daughter pleading with her father to behave decently. Meg stood by every word.
It was a mean letter, was it?
Yeah. I have the letter. I don't know what I could do with it. I've got a lot of money for the letter.
They're saying he's an alcoholic in the chat. The dad.
He might be, but he still raised her.
Yeah.
And the mom left. I think the mom was gone for like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know as much about her backstory because I kind of started researching after they dated.
I watched like a version of this interview that was cut down a little bit, but
I want to see if there's like a shorter one. I want to see the original one. I want to see what he says here.
Great, he's an interesting guy, he's a prince, but my daughter's been a princess since the day she was born.
Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, breaks his silence in his first TV interview after he missed the royal wedding due to heart surgery. He opened up on Monday's Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid.
Saturday, I have a new boyfriend, and I said, that's really nice. And then the next call was like, he's British. And I said, well, that's really nice. And then eventually the third time around it was like, he's a prince.
Thomas sharing his side of the story on how Prince Harry and Meghan's courtship turned into a happily ever after. Before news broke of their engagement, Harry stayed true to tradition, asking for Meghan's hand in marriage.
And they called me together, and Harry asked for her hand over the phone. And I said, you're a gentleman. Promise me you'll never raise your hand against my daughter, and of course I give you my permission.
Thomas also apologized for staging paparazzi photos, calling it a serious mistake.
I absolutely wanted to walk my daughter down the aisle.
And also expressed his feelings about Meghan being walked down the aisle by Prince Charles instead of him.
How can I ask for a better replacement than Charles? I was thrilled to tears that he was doing that for me. I just wish it had been my hand holding my daughter, not his. But he was wonderful for doing it.
Took one step.
Yeah, he seems nice. She seems crazy. I see what you mean.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was him who wasn't invited to the wedding. I know he had a stroke days before the wedding, but like her siblings and the rest of her family weren't invited. I know it was just her mom. I don't remember if the dad was invited or not either, but.
Oh. Okay, so then they get married and she just starts introducing all this woke stuff. And like
he looks so over.
Yeah, I know. And the queen embraced her. Like the queen was totally like super nice to her, and she even says that like she embraced her. And the problem with a lot of modern women is, they just talk too much. So she decided to air all of her grievances, every fight that happened in the family publicly on Oprah.
Oh,
So this is the first one where she's talking about her woke stuff. So wait, is it going?
In Britain. And so I didn't realize that there was a Black History Month in Britain. And so to have that brought to our attention was really exciting, I think, from a standpoint of everything that's going on in the world, but mostly just because it's about celebrating community.
So she knows that the royal family, I mean, for her to say she doesn't know about the history of colonization in the royal family, that's BS. Google. You can Google it.
Yeah.
It's you can do
I feel like if I was to join the royal family, I would Google everything I possibly could before I would get married. So
yeah, and if you didn't, that's on you. So now she's bringing up Black History Month, all this woke stuff. No.
And really, if you're celebrating all of the individuals who are making an incredible impact within our community, then what a great thing to be a part of. Not only highlight those people that we either know personally and really find their work to be notable, but also to ask them to highlight who that next generation is, who those other people are. What it does is just really broaden the list of role models for young British people and people abroad, Black or white, or any other color for that matter.
I've had an awakening as such of my own, because I wasn't aware of so many of the issues and so many of the problems within the UK, but also globally as well. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Yeah, so, he is from literal royalty. And he decides, let me listen to this woke woman I married. And it's kind of on him, or he could have had anybody. Why did you pick this woke crazy lady?
Yeah.
I understand, you could get bamboozled, and he probably did. But let's not pretend a prince didn't have choice. What was why would you? Okay.
And this isn't about pointing the finger. This isn't about blaming anybody. This is just about using this opportunity this month, as I said, to introduce Brits
to other Brits that they might not know about or they might not have heard about. And I think the power of community that comes from that is absolutely vast.
Okay, there's one. Woke stuff. Now, then she decides to go on Oprah and do a tell-all. Now, maybe I get it.
I remember people freaking out over the Oprah. I feel like I remember that.
Wait, let me go. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess it's Oprah, so maybe it was worth it to her. But I don't know. You could have, let me get this straight. You could have had royalty. You could have been a princess. Or you could have done an Oprah tell-all.
I feel like she knew that it was too far away for her to actually be, like, you know, because, like, Harry was, third in line to the throne when she married him. And she knew that the likelihood of her staying with Harry that long and becoming an actual princess it would take too long. So she just decided to take him out of the running.
Doesn't she get to be a princess anyway? Like, she can't be the queen, but...
No, she would be... She's Duchess.
Oh, gosh, you know more about this British, and I lived there.
I don't actually know, but I just mean that, like, the chances of her husband becoming king and her managing to stay married to him that long was too low, so she decided to get the fame by causing him to renounce his title rather than getting the title
It does make you pretty notorious.
Be alive anymore.
The pressure cooker of palace life pushed Meghan Markle to the brink of contemplating suicide.
I do
in
remember
a candid
this interview,
with the
I'm like, suicide? Really?
She said that she was squeezing Harry's hand so tight because she was, I don't know, going to kill herself right there or something like that while she was pregnant with her kid.
I mean, there's kids that are, like, there's people that are...
There's people dying.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, really? Suicide over... let's see what happens.
Queen of chat, Oprah Winfrey. Meghan also accused the royals, nicknamed the Firm, of spreading lies about her.
I don't know how they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us.
And when Meghan was pregnant, she said there were questions about her son's colour. Meghan's mother is black and her father white.
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
I feel really let down.
Also in the spotlight, Prince...
Why would he believe her? That's your first mistake.
Harry's relationship with his father, Prince Charles.
And what I was seeing was history repeating itself, but more perhaps, or definitely far more dangerous, because then you add race in and you add social media in.
There were echoes of the 1995 TV tell-all with Prince Harry's mother, Princess Diana, when she revealed details about her and Prince Charles's marital affairs and her mental health crisis. Diana died in a car crash in 1997.
The sad thing is that royalty is...
One of the biggest red pills is that Princess Diana was a modern woman. Because, no, she really was. Because the royal family said, okay, this is how we've been doing this forever. And she said, let me do it my way. Lady, why do you guys go into this family?
They said my way or the highway, and I guess she chose the highway.
I'm just like, why would you sign up? Like, I mean, that's a lot of rules. I don't think I could do it personally, but like, I'm sure there's a lot of women that would sign up, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to the next one, actually. Then, you know, she's telling Oprah that her life is so hard because her and her sister-in-law had a fight. Welcome to in-laws. Duh. Like, what did you expect? Hold on.
What was hard to get over was being blamed for something that not only I didn't do, but that happened to me.
Meghan Markle is setting the record straight, telling Oprah the real story behind the infamous tabloid tale that she made her sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, cry in 2018.
The reverse happened.
Meghan says during the preparation of her wedding to Prince Harry, there was a confrontation between she and Kate over flower girl dresses.
It made me cry, and it really hurt.
Flower girl dresses.
Boo-hoo. Oh. Boo-hoo, my multi-million-dollar wedding. The dresses are wrong.
How will you survive?
My feelings. And I thought in the context of everything else that was going on in those days leading to the wedding, that it didn't make sense to not be just doing what everyone else was doing, which was trying to be supportive, knowing what was going on with my dad and whatnot.
Meghan went on to clarify that she didn't tell the story
Why
to
is she acting like
disparage
her
Kate.
dad? Like that she cared. She said knowing what's going on with her. She didn't even call him after he had a stroke. That's what her dad was talking about in the interview.
Dang, she's using the stroke for attention. What a gal.
But to make a point that she didn't feel protected by the royal institution.
It was a really hard week of the wedding, and she was upset about something, but she owned it, and she apologized, and she brought me flowers and a note apologizing. What was hard to get over was being blamed for something that not only I didn't do, but that happened to me, and the people who were part of our wedding going to our comms team and saying, I know this didn't happen.
The Duchess of Sussex.
What did she say she was blamed for?
Something with a flower girl dress. Do you see Oprah pretending? She's like, I have interviewed the worst people in America with real problems. And I just can't imagine Oprah has that rich of a background. I don't know what her background is, but
I have no idea about anything about Oprah.
But I don't think it was royalty. So she's like,
X also revealed that she was always told to stay silent, a similar sentiment royal expert Katie Nichol shared with ET.
Well, there have been
I would tell her to
reports
stay silent too. Like the royals grew up in the environment. Like they know how to speak properly, how to act. She grew up in America. Like,
I know they do view us as kind of trashy over there.
we are. Have you seen us?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
Meghan wasn't allowed to do this interview 2 years ago.
they even speak
when
fancy.
They do. They speak very properly.
she was certainly being courted by many high-profile members of the media. Reports that Gayle King wanted to do a sit-down, and Meghan was told she wasn't allowed to do that. I think we're going to hear much more from Meghan in the Oprah.
Okay, so she wants to do all these media appearances, and they're like, that's for the men. the royal family's like, we've had thousands of years. We don't need women in the front light. Like the men are in the front. You guys stay quiet in the back. That's Hollywood. This is royalty.
Yeah.
And she says, but I want my book. They're like, Meghan. She didn't Google it. So, okay, now, and apparently they did a Netflix docuseries.
I did see that too.
And now there's a latest report saying Meghan Markle releases a statement after solo Thanksgiving appearance amid professional separation from Prince Harry. Meghan Markle has released a statement following her appearance at a Thanksgiving event last week. Sans husband, Prince Harry. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly amidst a professional separation, which reports suggesting that their work relationship is in a very bad state. Indeed, over the first few months, both the Suits alum 43, she's older than Harry.
They're older than I thought they were.
She's 43. Well, yeah, they're like, I mean, she's a model, so I mean, she's an actress, so they're like top 10% of beauty. So they're like,
yeah,
you know. Harry, 40, have been attending various events. Markle recently hosted an intimate dinner for Southern California Welcome Project through the Archwell Foundation. Her husband did not attend the event. The former actress has shared a statement on the Archwell website following the Thanksgiving event in which she opened about the heartfelt dinner she threw for Afghan women with their partner organization, Mina's List.
I think this just adds to my theory that she just married him to get the publicity because, like, he didn't say anything. He knows better. He knows to hold his tongue, not to spill his business everywhere. And she's just like,
Oprah.
Yeah.
The initiative has spent the past year building community through storytelling and creating a safe space for women who have resettled in the U.S. from Afghanistan. And this is a common thing that people view Muslim women as oppressed, and I don't see them that way. They just have a different culture. And it's like the women here just want to impose our culture on them and tell them that they're victims. And it's like, no, they just have a different culture.
Yeah, no, I did notice that because you see flyers about women getting married young, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that children should be married, but I'm like, it's also like Chinese kids working in factories, although we don't do that here, it's still, that's how they live.
Yeah, and it was kind of like when we went to India, they have like a caste system there. You know?
what system?
A caste system.
Caste system?
It's basically like they're born into we have social class here. They have a caste system. But ours
caste.
is it's like basically they're born into a certain I'm butchering it, guys, so don't. but they're born into a certain caste and they have to like marry within, or it's very frowned upon to not.
Yeah, and they have like dowries and stuff there too, like which we don't do here.
Yeah, and that's weird, but like to us, but it's a different culture. So, but you know, they liberal white women, and she's mixed, but they just have they just have a tendency to like think that our culture is the best and that it needs to be imposed on everybody.
Yeah.
Like when I went to this abortion event, they were talking about I went to this event. It was unfortunate because our camera didn't work, but I did undercover where I just went to this like feminist event.
I think you told me you were going to go. I didn't know you actually went.
No, I did. I did go. I did. And they were talking about one of their initiatives was to send abortion pills by mail. So people in places where
I did see that. I did hear about people doing that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, you guys are crazy. You want them to kill their kids so bad. You are crazy. We have an income caste system. Yeah. Okay. And it's not income alone though, because if you see like streamers, they're really trashy, you know, so it's not like they're in the same social class. But anyway, so they're separated. I've seen this coming. And let's see how old their kids are. I'm gonna Google, because usually when people get divorced, it's after the youngest kid hits preschool.
I think that should be about right. I think their youngest kid is 4.
That's their youngest
5
kid. Meghan and Harry.
I was right. 5.
3-year-old
3?
daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So
5 is their older one.
Yeah, because that's typically how it goes. The wife gets the second kid, or if she wants one, like however many kids she wants, stops sleeping with the husband and divorces him. Starts cheating a lot of times and then divorces him. So, I don't know who in Hollywood she's sleeping with, but I'm sure it's somebody. Okay, so the next story we're going to talk about is there is a woman named Riley Gaines. And Riley Gaines, I really do like her as a YouTuber, but she was the woman who got second to that male swimmer, Leah Thomas or whatever.
I do remember Leah Thomas.
She's like a blonde. She's really fit, really
manly.
No. She's beautiful. Riley Gaines. I mean, I can show you. It's this girl.
I thought you were talking about Leah Thomas.
Oh yeah, Leah Thomas. That's Riley. That's Riley Gaines on the screen. So she's a really good swimmer, and she got second because of the man competing. So she tweets, last week, a Biden-appointed federal judge held a hearing for the volleyball players suing the Mountain West Conference. He barred the female athletes from testifying. Today, he ruled in favor of the less than mediocre men. The girls plan to appeal the ruling. So now we're in a situation where men are competing in women's sports. And I have a really unpopular opinion, as you know, played volleyball for 16 years, played overseas. And I don't feel bad for them in the slightest. And I'll tell you why. So this spring, like a year ago, there was a spring tournament. And the England Volleyball League allowed men to play in the women's division. It was like a guy, it was all nations tournament. And there was literally a man with a boob job playing. No, I swear. I don't know what's going on in Brazil and Thailand, but those two teams, I was playing for Poland, okay? I don't know. They said America was full and I'm a little Polish, so they put me on that team. Anyways, and I'm going around being like, does anyone want to complain? No. The guys were in our locker rooms. And I'm like, guys, does anybody want to come? I go to the tournament director. Ladies, hey, this is wrong. I bring my camera. Anyone want to give interviews? They didn't care. And in fact, a bunch of them, when I interviewed them, said they supported it. So we can't, you know what? They can't help us if we can't even help ourselves. So, and I saw this thing on Twitter, and this perfectly showed what I experienced. And so my unpopular opinion is I don't care if women get beat up in women's sports, because we have BS like this that women clap and support. And at this point, ladies, we bring it upon ourselves. For every one woman that speaks out, there's 10 that either support it or do not care. Look at this. She's smiling.
Hello, Barbara. Sorry to interrupt your team meeting, everyone, but Barbara, we just wanted to deliver a special award for you. You are the BBC Women's Footballer of the Year 2024.
Okay, so
Wait,
that's a trans person.
All right.
And look she's smiling and laughing, or like clapping. She's smiling and clapping. She's smiling. Look at the whole room.
There you go, mate.
That's like when they appointed what's his name, Dylan, the Woman of the Year that one year.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing, guys?
So at this point, we're just eating ourselves, that I have no sympathy. And I think that's why the men are just allowing it now, because they said, you know what? I have tried to help you ladies for years. We have tried to say, hey, ladies, are you sure you want to play with men? Are you sure? And so now we have a guy being like, you know what, ladies, eat yourselves. Look at him. He's like, you know what? You guys want this BS. What do you think?
About the award? Or just men being in women's sports?
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, we do it to ourselves. I don't disagree with that. I don't think men should be in women's sports, but I mean, if we're
gonna clap it on.
Yeah, if we're gonna clap it on, like.
Yeah, and I guarantee, I would bet money that this ruling, there are women supporting it.
Yeah.
I would guarantee. And it was funny in that tournament, I'm not going to say her name, but the woman that I was friends with, she got her finger like smashed from the guy. And I'm like, do you want to complain? No. Okay. Okay. Because this was the second year. I don't think I actually played in that one. I was just like there. So I didn't really care, but I was like, they didn't let me in the next year. So I think this got me banned. Yeah, and they sent me, I got reprimanded because I tweeted. I can't say it on YouTube because of hate speech, but I'll let you put two and two together.
I think I know what word you're already saying.
No. But it was, I said, I'm afraid of, because they do kind of scare me a little bit.
Hannah.
And so the England Volleyball Association, they emailed me and said that I was under like a review or something, and that they were gonna, and I asked like that there was some council that was reviewing my tweets that was, I guess all the minorities or whatever, like they had representatives that represented it. And I just said, well, I identify as a man and I would like to join it. And I never heard from them again. I don't know. I never got reprimanded or anything. They just threatened it too. So I don't know. I'm like, well, I identify as it. So let me join. Could probably find the email if I wanted to, but Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is, have you ever seen The View, Eva? Do you know what The View is?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever actually seen anything on it.
So there's a woman from The View that's named Sunny, and she constantly talks about how racist America is. And the funniest thing happened ever. She found out, because if you look at her, she's a Hispanic woman, and she found out that she descended from slave owners.
That's really embarrassing.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
You can tell that man's over the bullshit. He's just like,
No, because I think what happens to men is they go through life and they realize that if they're too rational, they lose their job. or like get reprimanded in some way. So they just start going along with it. They're like, all right, ladies.
Pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate
own
that.
him?
I don't know. I think they both came from slave, like the same. Like I think they're related.
It would have been really funny if her family owned her husband's family.
And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that this is how some people made their living.
You know what's I remember I had to explain to someone once that the majority of white people did not own slaves.
I'm pretty sure that right now in the world there's more white slaves. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere.
Well, the word slave came from Slavic.
Yeah.
But in the US, it's less than 2% of white people own slaves. And
Yeah.
I don't want to say
White people also didn't invent slavery.
Yeah, I know.
We just get blamed for it.
We really do. Be careful. You're in school. Be careful. You're in school still. Okay. So the next topic we're going to talk about is, so you've heard me talk about how American households are changing. So when we were kids, I mean, I would say the majority when I was a kid of people I knew were married. Like all of my friends' parents were married. You're almost a decade younger than me. Would you say that was true when you were growing up?
I would say yes for the people I knew who had parents in Catholic schools.
Okay.
But not the parents who were genuinely they were slightly religious at least. But like, 'cause I knew some people whose parents just sent them there because they lived in a bad school district. And it was not those.
Once I got to high school, because our middle school was really small, and there we had like 2 people in our whole grade that got divorced.
I don't think we had. I think that my middle school, I don't think anybody was.
Once I got to high school, that was when I personally started meeting more people that were divorced or got divorced.
I think I just knew a lot of people who had unhappy marriages in their family rather than divorce. Like I'm trying to think if anybody was actually like I don't think that anybody was actually divorced. I think some of them are now, but
what's interesting is how different everything's becoming in such a short period of time. So they are talking about how American households have changed over time. And so this was taken in 2023. 30% of people are married, no kids. 13% of people single, no kids. 17% married parents. 7% single parents. And 16% households with unmarried partners, roommates, or adult relatives. So this was, the composition of American households has shifted significantly since 1960, as fewer people have kids and the scale of economic resources has declined. Today, the number of households without kids exceeds those with kids, a trend that first emerged in 2014. In addition, single-person households have broadly continued to incline, reaching 30% of the total last year. This figure has more than doubled the past 6 decades. The graphic shows the composition of American households over time, based on data from the Census Bureau. Below, we show the makeup of American households from 1960 at a time of rising costs, record home prices, and low fertility rates. In 1960, the share of U.S. households that contained married parents was 44%, which has dropped by half in 2023.
I wonder what the correlation to this is based off crime, because I feel like they talk about crime a lot nowadays too. I feel like that has a lot to do with the breakdown of the American family or the modern, not the modern, what's the word? The traditional family, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Most Americans today are delaying or foregoing marriage altogether, with just 20% of women and 23% of men aged 25 being married, the lowest number on record. Projections indicate that by 2050, 1/3 of Americans aged 45 may remain unmarried. Meanwhile, households consuming of single parents or individuals living alone have doubled over the period, coinciding with the U.S. fertility rate falling to a historic low of 1.6 children per woman in 2023, well below the 2.1 replacement level needed for population stability. Personal preference plays a significant role in changing attitudes towards parenthood. amongst Americans under 50 without children, almost 60% said they didn't want kids, while 44% preferred to focus on other priorities. Financial concerns also weighed heavily, with 36% citing the cost of raising children, 3 times the rate amongst childless people over 50. Last year, just 16% of homes in America were considered affordable, as mortgage rates more than doubled since 2021. This represents a sharp decline from 2013, where 50% of homes were affordable, a shift that is likely shaping household dynamics as rising costs influence Americans' future choices. So what's interesting is I don't know, because again, you're a decade younger than me almost, so it's a little different. But when I was growing up, when I was growing up, we were one of 6. And I know there's the later, but that's, you know, but we're just going to start with the 6. But it wasn't abnormal for me to meet families that had 3 or 4. I'd say over 4 would be pretty, like 4 was a lot, but like 2 to 3 was normal maybe.
Yeah.
And then 4 was not abnormal. Like I could think of a decent amount of families that had 4. But it's interesting because if right now only 20%, or it's even less, 17% are married parents, we can assume that half of those will fail, right? Because half have failed in the past. That's the future.
Yeah.
So if, like, once we have kids, what's interesting is all of our kids' friends will be single children, basically.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I think that especially right now, I've noticed a lot more. You don't see many families with more than, like even at daycares, like they have 2 kids. The only family that I know that has more than 2 kids is because they had twins.
Yeah. And I bet the mom was older. I bet it was IVF.
It actually was not.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you have first, guys, she works at a daycare, and she's worked at a daycare for a while. So you can see the kids firsthand.
Yeah.
And so you'd say that's true. It's mostly...
I'd say for the most part, if they have more than 3 kids, it's either they had twins accidentally trying for their second kid, or it's because they wanted the other gender.
So out of every 10 kids that come in, how many are only children?
It depends on where you're looking at. In Illinois, I would say probably 5 or 6 out of 10 would be only children. But in Colorado, I'd say it's a higher number. I'd say 7 or 8.
Really?
Because most of those parents aren't married. They, I'm guessing, just had a child. A lot of them are divorced. A lot of them aren't together. A lot of them are just single moms.
Really? Because the one thing is, when you look at data, because they want men to keep getting married, even though the system is really bad for them. So they will always hide statistics that make marriage look bad.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, guys, don't worry about the legal system and child support and alimony. Sign up. Don't just forget about that. No, it'll totally work out. So what % of kids would you say in the daycare are from married parents versus in relationships versus single?
In Illinois, I would say the majority of the parents are married, but we're also not as close to Chicago and all the whatever people. I'd say in Colorado, which is really close to Denver, I would say probably, I don't know, 1/4 of the parents are married.
So a quarter, really.
Yeah.
Because the way it starts is the cities start with the trends. And then, you know what else I'm curious? Do you know any women that have done sugar dating or any sort of OnlyFans? Like personally, not through like me or my show or any of that.
No, but I don't really.
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't think it's hit the suburbs yet. But the weird thing is, once you get into a city, it's like crazy how many there are.
I've heard people on campus talking about it, so I'm sure people on campus do it, but I don't personally know anybody that does.
Yeah. Okay, so interesting. So you would attribute Illinois being more married because we're further from the city.
And because we're just like, in general, like I know we're still a blue state, but where we are, it's not.
Yeah, it's pretty conservative.
Yeah, like it's only really conservative in the city, or it's only Democrat in the cities, really.
And what ages were the kids?
Huh?
Like the kids at the daycare.
They go from 6 weeks to 6 years.
Okay, so it's, and because the other thing is, if it's under 6, if they get divorced, I'm guessing it would be when the kid's like 4 to 6.
Yeah, roughly.
That's
That's what
roughly.
had happening at the. Remember that family I told you about when you're in Amsterdam and you guessed the dad's
Oh,
job?
yeah.
They're getting divorced right now, and their youngest just turned 4.
Yeah, that's usually
Or no,
because
3.
yeah, that's generally that's the first round of divorces. The second round, I think, it's either when the kids become teenagers or they get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So the next topic that we're gonna go. Yes, she's my. Oh, the other question I had. So you want to be a housewife?
I do very badly.
And how many women your age would you say out of your friend group? Is there anyone else that wants to be a housewife?
Yeah, but I also have a very conservative friend group.
Okay.
I think the people on campus that I've told about my hopes and desires and my dreams really, really look down upon me.
So you're in at college. They're more. That's where you've kind of heard of people doing OnlyFans, or you've heard of it.
Yeah.
That's where you've heard. That's where people kind of laugh at you for wanting to be a housewife.
Yeah, somebody the other day, I was telling them I don't think Ballerina Farm is oppressed. I think that she's actually very happy and she's living the life she wants. And they said, "You're crazy." And I was like, she's living in a multi-acre property with a multi-millionaire, with her multiple kids, with her own business and a loving husband. I'm like, what are you talking
What more
about?
does she want?
Like, what else? Like, they grow everything themselves. They have I'm like, what? So oppressed.
Yeah, they're like, oh, but she could have been a ballerina. I
Like,
mean, I don't know.
She was a ballerina too. She danced through her first 2 kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's videos of her dancing at Juilliard pregnant.
No way.
So it's like, I don't know why people are saying he forced her out of that life.
I mean, I do think the farm was his idea, but I mean, she opts in.
Yeah,
she
and
said, sounds fun.
Yeah, and she still dances, maybe not professionally, but
yeah, they're so crazy.
I don't know. That woman's my dream life. She's like, us and our 8 kids. I'm cooking them sourdough bread tonight. I'm like, oh, invite me over.
I know. You know how to make sourdough, don't you?
I've been learning. I tried to make a starter and I failed miserably, so I bought one. I bought a dehydrated starter, but I haven't actually started it yet because I've been gone.
The breads, I have not done really well. I've
been getting into the breads for Adam recently.
I don't know. You see, I don't know. Maybe you are quicker at it, but I did it a couple times and I just felt like it takes so long to knead the bread.
Well, also you can use a KitchenAid to knead it for you. I mean, I prefer kneading it by hand because I feel like you can get a better feel of it, but...
Oh, I should do that.
Like, you can at least start it with the KitchenAid.
I didn't have one at the time. I do now, though.
I love my KitchenAid. I love it so much.
I don't use it too much because I'm usually just cooking for like 4 people at most. So
I'm just cooking for Adam, and he's 4 people in himself.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Okay, so the next story we're going to talk about, and actually I'm curious about this. So you are 20, right? You're 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 20. Okay, that's what I thought. Your friends, would you say, what's your oldest friend?
I mean, that's kind of hard because a lot of the people I worked with I still talk to consistently. Like, I'm going to go see one of them this weekend. And she's, I think, 50. I love her. I love her so much. But my oldest friend that I talk to consistently is probably, I think she's 26.
Okay. 26, like maybe 18 to 26, your friends range from?
Yeah.
I mean, now, does anyone you know have, from your friend group, have they gotten plastic surgery?
I don't think so, no.
So now there's this trend of women, and we both know people, it tends to start plastic surgery when women are a bit older. So you're a bit young, but the trend is getting older and older. And now, it begs the question, if a man meets a woman and she's gotten a bunch of surgery, what will the kids look like? And this is a woman detailing. Can I make this full screen? I'm going to just zoom in. So this was her now, and that's her before.
Those poor kids.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the rundown on.
And it's not like she was completely ugly before. I think it's mostly her
I feel
hair.
like I feel bad for the kids because they're gonna get blamed
Okay,
for
I'm
them
gonna give
being
you the
ugly when it's
rundown
not,
on
because their mom
every
is
single
gorgeous.
procedure I've had done to go from that and that in order with the cost on the ones that I can remember and who performed it. Also, disclaimer: I have to say I do not.
Oh, sorry.
Surgery can come with serious complications, consequences. It is not a walk in the park. Okay, I want to say at 20 years old, I might have been 21. I got my nose done by Jonathan Pontel in Wayne, PA. I believe the cost was about $9K. These were the results. Overall,
I know, then that begs the question.
Where do you have the money?
That's the other
at
question.
20, I don't have $9,000. Like,
that's why there's a explosion in sugar dating.
oh God.
Yeah,
and like that's
these
just
are-
one of them. She said. She's like, if I can
It
remember.
was about 9K. These were the results. Overall, it wasn't my dream nose. Okay, these were rough times in my life, so. But the next thing I did was get a lip lift. And the reason that I got a lip lift was because they had lifted my septum up so much that I now was seeing all the space that I wasn't used to. Unfortunately, I don't know how to zoom in the picture, but my scar on this lip lift was not great. Also compounded with, I was blowing my lips up with filler, which essentially pulls down on your upper lip.
And I don't know if you've been to LA recently, but if you go to LA, all the women have this. Same with Miami. It's so common.
Yeah, I'm not, because filler's really easy to get. It's just like a needle.
Yeah.
And like healing is like nothing.
And you can get it at a med spa in like a day.
Yeah, like.
Redo my lip lift. And I ended up going to in Baltimore, Maryland. I want to say
She goes through these.
Fat grafting in this area as well.
Her nose
I
done
didn't
again.
love the results of
Her
fat
nose
grafting
done
from him.
again. Fat grafting.
Did she say the total?
I think it was
Well,
like 20 to 30.
Did an upper bluff on me, so that's basically where you can see the difference in my eyes now and then. They're just much more open now. Genetically, I had a slight hooding, and you know, as we age, that area tends to drop a little bit, and I wanted to look rejuvenated. But yeah, I believe that's everything I've done. Outside of, I've had fillers here, there, removed. I get Botox regularly. This is me at age 19. This is me now at 30.
Isn't that crazy?
This is me at age 19.
Oh, wait, hold on. I wanted to pause.
So also, she's using like one of the worst possible photos of herself. I feel like I don't know anybody who has a good passport photo. Yeah, like it's just people trying to encourage this plastic surgery, so they don't trying to normalize it, so they don't feel bad about doing it.
Then, let me see. There's so many of these. Like, let me see. Lindsay Lohan recently.
I have heard about Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. So I mean,
Lindsay Lohan go from this to this. Hi guys, my name is Revian. I am a New York City cosmetic injector. I've been working aesthetics for 10 years and I
okay. I'm not going to go through the whole video, but then let me pull up one more.
This is everything I've had done to my face. For reference, I'm 29. And I do get some comments of people thinking that I'm a lot younger. I don't think that's because of anything I've had done. I think I do just have a baby face, if that makes sense. The first thing I ever had done, which is quite niche, I feel like not a lot of people have this at my age, is I got my smile lines filled when I was 25. That was the first thing I ever got. And I got 0.5 in my lips at the same time. And I got that done in Harley Street. I was 25, I'd never had anything done. And I'd seen so many bad filler jobs. I was like, I want to go to someone who's going to know what they're doing and be really good. That is actually like a qualified doctor. When you have your smile lines filled, they make a little hole here and they just fill this. And I liked it, but I had one side deeper than the other, so I got it done again, not in Harley Street, still somewhere quite good. And I haven't had that done since, and that was 4 years ago. And I honestly feel like that's made the most difference to my face out of anything I've ever had. Then when I was 25 again, about 6 months later, I got Botox for the first time. I don't have any Botox right now, by the way. Like, I promise you, I don't have Botox now. And I got that done consistently, like every 3 to 4 months up until I got pregnant, which was when I was 27. So like 2 years. And I absolutely love Botox. I'm a Botox stan. Between being pregnant and breastfeeding, I've not had Botox since. I have a hot take on Botox. As much as I love it, people definitely think I look younger without it. So I don't know if it makes you look younger or better and more snatched. It is better and more snatched because I have a theory. When I had Botox, I'll insert some pictures of what I looked like. I was more like, not that dramatic, but I was more lifted, which I think is a bit more cat-eyed. It's like, you kind of look a bit sexier and older. Whereas now, I look more cutesy and young, maybe. That's my hot take. I've had my lips done, I think 5 times, but each time I would wait 6 months in between and I would only ever get 0.5. I do think I have some migration now. Can you see?
The thing about lip filler is it looks really good on camera and like in pictures.
Yeah.
And because we're in such an Instagram and TikTok generation that they all have filters on and like Facetune and all that stuff, that it smooths it out, but it looks so weird in person. Like you can see it like out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's also the thing, they say they get it dissolved, but I'm pretty sure lip filler doesn't actually dissolve. It just like...
Before I ever got them done, to remind myself that I always had a little shelf at the top, always. I'll insert some pictures of my face pre anything. The other thing I've had filled on my face is my under eyes. I had what they call tear trough filler, which I've only ever had.
It looks really good. Some people, it looks like a mess. It's kind of a, it seems
more,
like it's
I would be more concerned about the long-term things, like, because like these things haven't been studied that long. Like we don't know the long-term effects of these things.
I'm the same way. I think it's a bit of a roll of the dice. This one, actually, this one looked really good. I won't even lie. I'm gonna show you.
Is it the facelift?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the facelifts are. See, but those things, it's like those people are older, so I get it.
Yeah.
Like that girl, what she said that she got her first thing done when she was 21.
Yeah, I know. And another question is, how are they going to be able to afford the upkeep?
Yeah.
I mean, most women make like $40,000 a year, if that.
Yeah, like so like that I understand because she's what, like 50s, 60s, like.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to read some comments. So guys, you go to the audacitynetwork.com if you want your comment read. I read it from here. Hi, Pearl. Love your show. With all the absolute simpery that's going on, it seems the amount of kids from simps is outpacing kids from masculine fathers, resulting in a simp and thought epidemic. Dane, Pearl, the first man to own slaves as property, was a black man named Anthony Johnson in Virginia. Actually, I've heard that before. Shin, this includes the Christian conservative movement is the future woman worshipping simp doom inevitable. Yes. If I see another ex OnlyFans model giving testimony, I am going to shoot myself in the head.
Oh, you'll follow what I told you to do?
All right, Pearl, you still have some work to do with your sister. She still carries a hint of liberal, crazy, progressive tone in her voice. Better work on that.
I don't know where, but all right.
Yikes, a cosmetic surgery traffic accident. Pearl, I think the men that were raised by these single moms have been brainwashed to find these fake women attractive. Go, Pearl and Eva. Okay, thanks, guys. All right. Also, if you guys want some free content, there's a community post I just did, and all of basically everyone that's not allowed on YouTube is on my website, and I offer most of those interviews for free. So all you have to do is type in your email, you get it for free. Okay. So now there's been another trend going on, and this is the we listen, don't judge. And so basically what happens is women are putting men through humiliation rituals. So men value privacy, women like attention. So generally when there's couples content, It's the woman running the relationship because men don't like the public stuff.
Yeah.
And they do it because most men in terms of sex are in a state of scarcity.
Mhm.
So they're like, she might leave if I don't do this content. It's going to take me this amount of time to get another woman. Fine. And it kind of, I like these because it shows the state of relationships in America. And you can just kind of see how the women are like subtly embarrassing their husbands in public through these.
Don't judge. Sometimes I don't really have a headache.
Like, how embarrassing is that? Your wife just publicly said she doesn't sleep with you and she pretends to have a headache.
Listen, and we
listen and we don't judge. Sometimes I go in the bathroom and hide and pretend to go to the bathroom when I hear the chaos in the house, just so you have to handle it, not me. I'm not judging. Not judging. We listen and we don't judge.
When sometimes I tell you I'm going to get a facial, but I'm really going to get Botox.
So if he doesn't want Botox, why is she getting it?
Yeah, I was going to say who paid for the house that they're in because it looks really nice.
Yeah. But if she's getting a cosmetic procedure and the man doesn't want it, it's for other men.
Yeah.
So why is she getting it?
We
listen and we don't judge.
Like, look at this couple. Who wants to be doing this trend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen these
Sometimes
ones. I've seen the ones that are like funny. Being like, I broke a hole in the wall.
They're all like this if you pay attention.
Maybe.
yeah.
But this one's like very clearly like.
Yeah.
Fix something downstairs just so I can play video games and have some peace. We're not judging.
Wait, what do you say?
Play video games and have. Sometimes I pretend to have to fix something downstairs just so I can play video games and have some peace. We're not judging.
No, but the men find their wives so exhausting that they like hide from them.
We
I find their wives
and we
exhausting.
don't
Sometimes I move your keys on purpose just to drive you crazy when you say you can't find them.
Yes, yeah, I don't know why.
We
listen and we don't judge. Sometimes I go in our bedroom at night and pretend to fold laundry while you're downstairs just so I don't have to help you clean up. We listen.
You know what I realized? Men would rather have a messy house than a nagging wife.
Yeah.
Like they would rather it just be a little messy, it's fine, than having a woman nagging at them to pick up all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them either.
Yeah.
And we don't judge. We don't judge.
Sometimes I tell you I have to go run errands, but I'm really just eating Chick-fil-A in my car and going shopping.
We listen and we don't judge. Sometimes I ignore you and pretend like I can't hear you in hopes that you'll get so annoyed that you have to repeat it that you won't ask me to do something again.
So what did we gather from this? She is admitting to spending without asking him.
He's running away.
And he's admitting to being exhausted from her. So the next one on here, let me see, is going to be this one.
And we don't judge. We were dating and I checked your location and you said you were home and I wasn't quite sure if that was true, so I decided to go follow your location and I stayed at your house until I saw you in your room to confirm that you were at home and had no plans. We listen and we don't.
No.
We listen and we don't judge.
Sometimes on the way back from my haircut, I'll just get food and I'll like park in a parking lot and I'll eat it. And then I'll come home and I'll act like I didn't like eat anything.
We listen and we don't judge. Sometimes in an argument, I'll get even more upset when I come to realize that some of your points are actually like logical and make sense. We listen and we don't, you know.
Oh, how do you get more mad that what I'm saying is correct, though?
She just admitted she's gonna
Because
get
why
mad
are
either
you
way.
bringing valid points here?
Why would you want to argue with a dumb nigga?
We listen and we don't judge.
Some guy said in the comments that depends on what the nagging wife looks like as she picks things up, or if she's nagging while naked.
That one green dress that you bought off Fashion Nova last month, I threw it in.
Pretty, but
yeah,
I threw it in the trash.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back.
Because why are you bringing valid points here?
Why would you want to argue with a dumb nigga?
We listen and we don't judge. That one green dress that you bought off Fashion Nova last month, I threw it in the trash last Tuesday, because it just wasn't, you tried it on, had a bunch of stuff coming off of it and everything like that, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, so this is an interesting trend where they're just humiliating men in public.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, though? Because
Yeah.
no guys wants their relationship on social media.
Yeah.
So the women that are doing it, it's like most likely, unless he's a social media guy, the relationship's on her terms.
Yeah.
And if you watch these, it's all the same complaints. The men just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
and the women, it's like they backhand, like they don't really say anything bad. They just want to be left alone. And the women are kind of just subtly...
Yeah, they're just like, I'm gonna go hide in the basement. And she's like, you can't get it up anymore.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue to this one I thought was hilarious, and we're gonna end the show on something funny that reminded me of our dad.
Aww.
Okay.
To admit that his backyard rink, Martin Ross is the first to admit that his backyard rink is a cut above the standard shinny shanty.
It's a beautiful outdoor rink that's kind of done properly. It's not your typical, 2x4 boards with a tarp thrown down.
A hockey haven in the back half of his massive backyard that has become the subject of a years-long dispute with both neighbors and the city.
Nightmare.
Ross lives in Markham's scenic Unionville, and his home has heritage designation. And so when he put up the rink during the pandemic without permission,
I did this for my kids.
it wasn't long before the city stepped in.
They are indeed the 600-pound gorilla to fight against.
Some neighbors incensed about Ross's overhaul of the heritage property, along with the noise and all the errant pucks that they say has come with the rink.
This gentleman has completely destroyed what was a gorgeous backyard full of greenery that supported privacy and quiet for the surrounding neighbors. And without permits, he went ahead and tore down massive 100-year-old trees and has turned it into a parking lot.
Ross admits he was wrong to cut down the trees, but has been fighting for his right to the rink. 2 years ago, a Superior Court ruled that the city of Markham can legally step in to remove it. Ross's recent attempt at an injunction was dismissed.
Mr. Ross has felt all the way along that he's above the law, that bylaws don't apply to him.
It's stressful on me. It's been stressful on my kids.
The city of Markham telling CTV News.
Poor man just wants his rink.
He just wants his kids to have something to do.
I know.
In a statement that its lawyers and Ross have reached an agreement to restore the property to pre-2021 conditions. The remediation work will be carried out by the homeowner. Ross says he's preparing to reluctantly remove the rink.
Would we have Wayne Gretzky today if Walter Gretzky didn't build the backyard rink that he built?
I don't know who that is. That's funny. It reminded me of the water slide Dad put up, and
how the city was like, no, you can't have a structure taller than your house. And he was like, it's connected to that's my house right there.
I know. I don't understand why people are so lame. I would want to get invited to the rink. So if my neighbor had an ice skating rink, I would want to ice skate.
You're like, I'm gonna bring the hot cocoa. You bring the skates.
I would make brownies or something to get my foot in the door. I'd be like, guys, fellas, I see you got a rink there.
Yeah, people are dramatic when it comes to the look of houses.
You show up with cookies and then you just like casually have ice skates with you.
It'd be even better if you were still like if you had the skates on your feet. Be like, "Hi, what are you guys up to? My name's Eva. I'm your new neighbor. I saw you got something crazy going on back there. Can I check it out?"
That's super crazy. Wait, actually, I want to show you. This was from a while ago, but this was so funny.
Oh, I did see this with the man driving.
I just want to watch it again because it was so funny.
Are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
I found out that the
parking
reason
right
behind this is because the guy wasn't informed his license was suspended yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why everybody in the court was like, "What the? Is this guy that stupid?" And it's because he wasn't informed his license was suspended.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving. And
Isn't it funnier once you realize that he's like, "What the is going on?"
he didn't have a license. Oh.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at
Yes.
his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
Look at his face. He doesn't know.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Oh.
See, this poor man, he just didn't know.
I don't even know why he would do that. So, defendant's bond is revoked in this matter.
And now he has to go to
And he's
jail.
turned himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. To turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Oh, it's so funny.
See, like this poor man, he didn't know.
Why didn't they tell him?
I don't know. There was some mix up as to why. I didn't get the full story, but I'm just like that poor guy.
Okay, I saw this one too, and I just thought it was. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, have you seen this guy before?
No.
Okay, this is so funny. Make sure the sound's up a little bit. This is like one of my favorite
For
videos.
$1 million.
Okay.
$1 million. Would you take your wife's last name?
For $1 million, I will change my whole entire identity. Even I will take. I change. I will take. Do you want me to even change? What else do you want me to change?
No, you're just taking her last name.
Yeah, I'll take that now. And I'm saying, do you want anything else in addition to that? For $1 million, I'll do anything.
To take her last name and make it mine.
In marriage.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yes, I would.
Hell yeah, I take it.
For $1 million, yeah. It's
Okay.
about the money.
I'll even give you my first name. Even do you want to change that one also?
Not me. Your wife. You know, would you take her last name?
I'm telling you, yes, I will now.
Okay, how about for $500K?
You're pricing too high. Even you start from 2,000. Let's start there.
How about $500K?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will change my whole everything. You want me to change everything you want me to change? I change.
So for $2,000, you'll take her last name.
Give me 1,500. 1,000. I'm not even pricing too high. I don't want to play hard to get.
So you have the opportunity. So you gonna miss out on $1 million. You just rather take $500.
No, I will take the 1 million. Are you giving me 1 million? I will take. I'm just telling you that I will give you more too. What else do you want?
$100K.
Nah. My name got to live on. It's a legacy trying to get built.
But
So nah.
how you gotta live on you wouldn't take $1 million though.
$1 million different. You just dropped down to 100K now.
50K?
Probably not. No.
We can change it today. It's not. It's like it's 4:30. What time is it? It's like 4. Yeah, we can go and change it. No. It's kind of close.
Oh, pause. Nice leg. You got some nice hairy legs.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to give me the whole thing. You can give me like half
So
of it.
what
deposit.
if her last name is Dick? Would you take her last name still?
What's my business with what the name is? I'm saying, are you ready to do the transaction now?
Why not?
My last name Butler, so Anthony Dick Butler. They ain't gonna sound right. Yeah.
Brett.
Yeah.
So Brett Dick.
Brett Dick.
So they call you Mr. Dick. You okay with that?
That's fine. Yeah.
would you take?
Do you have the money or not? All these questions. Are we doing
Yes,
this or
I
not?
have the
Okay, now
money.
let's go. Which side is it not? Which side is the?
So you okay with dick?
It doesn't matter what the name is what I'm saying. I give you discount even. And if we do it today, you can give me. You don't even have to give me something less. I change everything. I change my nationality. I change my age. Whatever age you want me to be a young boy, I be young. You want me to be older, I be older. Anything you want, just.
How can you be older?
I don't know. We figure for $1 million, I can figure a lot of things out. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Nothing. Am I living? Is it not somebody who is living that does something for a living? As you see me like this, I'm like a walking dead. I'm not even living anywhere.
You don't live anywhere?
Are you giving me this money or not?
Yeah. I'm going to give you $10 after this interview.
I thought you just said something about 1 million now.
I'll give you $10.
So we're not changing anything.
You said you'll take any.
I don't even have a wife, but I'm ready to marry just so I can get the money now.
You said you'll take any amount. You said any amount, so $10, right?
Yeah, but I didn't say any amount. I said
you would take any amount.
I didn't say that. I said like 1,500. I was even being considerate. I didn't come all the way. When did I say 10?
Well, after taxes, it'd be like $300.
I don't pay taxes, so it would be the same 1,500. Give me the whole thing cash. I take money order also. There's a check cashing place around my house.
Okay, well I could do $10 today, and then.
Why will you be asking people? So you don't even have any. So what's all these questions for then?
It's going on social media. You okay?
Where's the $10?
I'm gonna cash up it to you. After the interview, I'm gonna cash up.
Why are you going around interviewing people? You don't have cash.
Well, let me go to the ATM and get it.
Which ATM? Doesn't look like there's any ATM around.
We can walk there after we done filming.
You can ask him. Does he have your camera?
You have $10? You don't have $10.
What kind of nonsense broke people are you people like this?
He called us broke.
He doesn't have. You don't have.
Wait, why you calling us broke?
You wasted my time. Do you know if I stood in that area now, I know how many people would have given me money.
Well, I'm sorry. This is for a good cause. It's for a nonprofit.
What nonsense cause? Now you're just lying for no reason. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay, well, I got you on $10, okay?
Why is it now?
After we done filming, I'm going to go get it for you.
I don't want you to leave. Don't worry.
You just said you want it.
What size shoe does he wear?
What size you wear? He 12, 10, I don't know.
That looks like a 5. That's not
a 5? Okay, well, okay. Well, thank you.
He was right. You know, it's so funny. Men are so logical. They're like, that's easier than jobs I've done. But you ask women to never work again and be a housewife, and they're like to get the equivalent of $1 million and take a man's last name, and they're like, I can't do it. And the men are like, I'll do it for 500. I'll do it for that. Anyways, that I just thought they were funny, so I wanted to show you. But I think that's all my videos today. How'd you like being on the show?
It's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Well, the people love you in the chat. I'm gonna read our last chats. Why would any wait, let me do this. Are you sleepy?
I'm always sleepy.
She drove like all the way from Colorado.
I did not. I flew in last night.
Who's driving?
I did drive. I drove to Vegas.
You drove to Adele.
Yeah, I did drive to Adele.
She went to see Adele 3 times.
No regrets whatsoever.
I know. Dad told me you saw him twice, and then you drove 11 hours back.
I had to see her last show. Women are not logical. We've been over this.
Okay. All right.
Because when I called Dad, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm driving." He said, "Where?" I said, "Vegas." He said, "Are you going to see that damn woman again?" I said, "She has a name, Dad." He said, "Are you kidding me, Evo? You're driving 11 hours." I said, 10 and a half.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a difference, Dad.
Okay, it said, Pearl, I think that these men, oh, I read this one. Go Pearl and Eva. The Irish genes are kicking it in y'all's family. We do have a lot of gingers.
Yeah, we do.
Do you think we look more Irish or German? Because that's what we're the most of. Let us know in the chat.
I feel like we're more German. I don't think we're very Irish. We just have the red hair.
No, I think we're like a quarter to a third of each.
Let me pull it up actually. Hold on.
You have our oh yeah, you do, don't we?
Yeah, I did the Ancestry
Y'all's
DNA.
family name should be Jemison. You couldn't pay Deej to make fun of me or embarrass me in public, but she will fight you if she has to. Good point, Pearl. Cosmetic procedures on a married woman are just for other men, not her husband, like tattoos and piercings. Look, if he wants the cosmetic procedures, I've met men that like it when their women get Botox and they like it when she gets boob jobs. They're into a certain look. That's their thing. That's one thing, right? But when the woman is getting it against his wishes, then it's like, what is she getting it for? Why would any couple do this? That's called the capacity issue. God may help this brother. This is like a family movie night from Charlie. Good stuff. Dane, what episode was your sister on? Of what?
Okay, we are 36% German, 19% England and Northwest Europe, 18% Baltics, 11% Irish, 6% Scottish, 5% Swedish, 4% Denmark, and 1% from Central and Eastern Europe.
We're only 11% Irish.
That's what I was saying, is that we're not very Irish.
I totally thought we were like a quarter.
No, we're mostly German.
Really? But we're Scottish too. Isn't that kind of like the same thing?
Yeah, but they're still like, even with Scotland and Ireland combined, it's still 17%.
Wow. And we're pretty British. We're like 20% British.
Yeah, we're mostly German and British and the Baltics.
I'm more British than Irish.
You were just going back to your homeland, man.
Wow. I didn't even know. I thought when we went to Ireland, I was like the.
You never know. Maybe we're related to Harry.
Yeah, let's be princesses. All right,
for like 2 years.
Pearl, that studio decor is 10 out of 10. Dane, I agree on the studio decor. Reminds me of The Godfather Kevin Samuels. No, I'm not gay. Straight red. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with being gay? Straight rednecks can decorate too. Jemison is Irish whiskey. The vast majority of people have no regard for their legacy, and such has been for all of history. Do not pity for them. They aspire to nothing and will lose nothing. German must be where the height comes from, that is. Of the pregame or whenever you said she had blue hair. So you'd have to look up like a Sneeko stream that she had blue hair on.
Yeah. Was...
I take all the credit for deep.
I don't think I had blue hair then yet. Maybe.
I don't know. I just was like, Eva, what did you do? I was like, Eva, you have the prettiest hair color. Why would you do that?
Maybe I did then. I don't know. I'd colored hair for a while.
Scottish originally descended from Ireland. Okay, it says lies. You're Irish. Scottish originally. Wait, can I see it again? I just want to see. I want to see if there's anything else that's kind of the same. So Germanic. The Baltics. So it says 18. I don't know what the Baltics is, and I feel kind of dumb, but
Baltics would be Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia.
Would that be Poland?
They're north of Poland, but yeah, kind of Poland.
I'm pretty sure we're Lithuanian. I feel like Aunt Chris has said that.
Like I know I've heard Lithuanian, Welsh, and Polish.
Yeah.
I definitely for that tournament told them that I was like a quarter Polish, which might have been an over exaggeration, but I wanted the American team was full, so I'm like, no, I got Polish. They had room. Okay, guys, that's all we got for today. It says you're white on top of white. I bet y'all bleed sour cream. She should go blue hair again and be like a sleeper cell amongst feminists. Dane,
it's okay. No, people still think I'm feminist.
Don't give her any ideas. Well, technically, all women are feminists.
Yeah, but they still think I'm like the
crazy ones.
I don't know why, but they look at me and they're just like, oh, let me tell you all my complaints about men. And I'm sitting there and being like, I know for a fact if I talk to that man, he would tell me a very different response.
You know, people always used to think I was liberal too. So I think it kind of surprised them when I started to come out because
Hannah has a coming out story.
Well, not like that, but I mean, when I was in college, when
you were in college, I thought you were a lesbian. I thought you were a raging lesbian.
Okay, that's rude. But when I was in college, they what do you call it? They a lot of the girls on my team were liberal, so I wasn't going to be super open about being conservative because that's pretty especially some of them were so there's a couple girls that just had such strong beliefs. I was trying to play volleyball, you know.
Yeah.
You know, mom took me to a Sarah Palin rally when I was 12.
You did tell me that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like the video on your way out and subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell, and please go to theaudacitynetwork.com. And we're almost to $10,000 for our documentary. We're trying to raise 100K, but 10 is the first goal. So if you want to donate $5 after the show, the link's in the description. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.